Okay guys, so to begin with, I will uncomment out all the ones that I've commented out. So for example, I will comment out this one, and then okay, so now that I've uncomment out these ones, what I intend to do is that I will set the display of this one to none, okay, so that we will bring it back with the JavaScript. So let me come here and then look for the quiz container and set it display to none, okay, like this. Now let's see, we do have this one. We have to get rid of these extra characters. Okay, so this one, I'll get rid of this one, and then there is another one here. Get rid of it and save. Okay, so now we only have the login form kind of. Okay, so the first thing that I intend to do before I go to the JavaScript is to give the input an ID. So I'll give an ID of name so that I can easily fetch it from the JavaScript. So inside of the JavaScript, I will create a function called start quiz. So const start quiz. This time around I'll be using arrow functions. Okay, so we have this function right here, and then the first thing I'm going to do is to get the name value from the form. So I'll use my document.query selector into bracket. Because I'm selecting based on the ID, I'll bring my hash symbol followed by the name of the ID, in this case name. Okay, but then it is the value I'm after, not just the element. So dot value. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'll first of all check if the name value exists. So if we have a value for the name, there is something that I want to do, else there is another thing that I want to do. So now let's deal with the else first, afterwards we deal with the if part. Okay, so if there is no name, I want to alert please enter your name to start. Okay, don't forget the correct spellings is very important here. And in here, what I intend to do is that if the name is ready, I want to hide the login form and then show the question form. Okay, so what I'll do is that I will call the document.query selector, and then I will select the login form, and then what I intend to do is that I want to change a style. And which style do I wish to change? I wish to change the display. Okay, and set it value to none, and then I will do the same document.query selector. I want the quiz container, so dot quiz container, and then I'll set its style dot display and set its value to flex like this. Okay, now I have to create an event that will trigger this function, and I want this event to be triggered on this button. Okay, so I'll create a button right here. I say const start btn equal to document.query selector into bracket the login btn, and then I want to add an event listener. So I'll call the start btn.onClick, and then when the onClick happens, I want to call this function. So start quiz like this. So now let's come here and give it a test. So I click here, the alert comes that please enter your name to start. Okay, now if I give something like Sam and then click here, it takes me to the next page. It hides the login form and then shows the question or the quiz container. Okay, so let me walk you through this function one more time before we move on. So I have a function here called start quiz, and the start quiz takes the value of the name from the input with ID name, and then we have a condition here. The condition says that we should check if there is value for the name. If there is a value, we want to set the container with the class name login forms display to none, and afterwards we fetch the quiz container, which at the moment has its display set to none. Will now have a new display set to flex. But then if the name has no value, then we want to set this alert which says please enter your name to start. After this function, we created this button, or let me say we fetched it from the HTML file and then added an click event to trigger this function once the button is clicked. Coming up is displaying questions. Don't go away.